Come on, Casey. Let's go, Casey. Come on, Casey. Let's go, Casey. Come on, Casey. Let's go, Casey. Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm coming at you with another challenge chat. Sorry, I've been a little MIA when it comes to my challenge content. I missed last episode. Not the finals part 1, but the one before that. Sorry about that. Life has just been a little crazy. You can see my cat in the mirror. That's hilarious. I'm just gonna give you a quick little rundown on my thoughts on the finals part 1, what I think about who's in it, and kind of my thoughts on how it's going so far. Let me know in the comments below if you are surprised at who is in the finals or if you predicted it. And also make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss more reality TV content, MTV The Challenge content, and more reactions and reviews. So you can see my cat and some of the clips from the show. I'm gonna scoot over. So let's talk about it. I did take some notes throughout the episode per usual, just to kind of write down what I was thinking in that moment. So the previous episode, Fessy had won the elimination versus Kyle, and Kyle got that medical DQ. He really wanted to keep going. He did not want to go out with an injury, which I totally understand. No one wants to leave the game injured, which we will see an injury in the finals part 1, unfortunately. But I think that is the worst way to go. I know how that goes. Right now, I'm still recovering from a knee injury from about 6 months ago. And just the fact of being out of my normal routine has been completely annoying. So the fact that Kyle was so close to this finals, a chance to win a portion of $1 million, I'd be pissed. He clearly wanted to give it his all, but I mean, his finger was messed up and he just couldn't go. One round of that hall brawl and he was out. So Fessy had picked his new partner, Casey. Shocker, right? No. Everyone knew that winner of the elimination was going to pick Casey. So coming into the finals, we have some new partner matchups from that previous episode. So Fessy and Casey. Nany and Leroy, which I personally was super pumped about just because I love that Real World season. And then also I just like them two as an individual. And so competing together I thought was perfect. So Leroy and Nany. Then we have Corey and Cam still together. And then Amber and CT. We have 4 teams going into the final. One thing that I thought was kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. Fessy and Corey were talking together and Fessy goes, "We're a different breed." And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, just because you're younger and newer competitors, you're not those OGs or those long-standing veterans, you're a different breed? Like, what do you mean, dude? You gassed out in the finals last year. So your eliminations that you've won so far, even to get to the finals, have basically been a piece of cake. So I don't know what you mean by you're a different breed. I'm not seeing that. He did also say that he regrets, the only thing he regrets from the season is going up against Nelson so early on in the season. But he also is in the finals, so look what that got him. And I'm like, all right, but you're still not all that. And I feel like that's what he's pretty much giving off, that cocky vibe that, well, I made it here, so I did what I had to do. But look what friendships you lost along the way. And we do see Corey saying, I haven't forgot what Fessy did. So for Fessy's sake, he better hope that nothing happens in the finals where there's a chance to sabotage another team. Because if Corey has a chance, he's probably gonna sabotage Fessy. So anyway, they leave the challenge house. It's time to go. The green lights are on. They arrive where TJ is and he's like, are you guys ready for the final? Because here we go. Asher, get out of here. Basically what he says is that they're gonna test the key facets of an agent. Not everyone is going to see day 2. One team is being eliminated immediately on day 1. So basically once we finish this first section, it sounds like one team's gone. 3 teams will remain. And then he breaks down the prize money. And this is where I'm kind of bummed out a little bit. So I know there's a 2-part final and only the top 2 teams are going to get any prize money out of the top 4. So to me, I personally miss the old days where every team that made it to the final got at least a little something. I know not every season was like that back in the day, but I think if you make it to the final, or at least the second day of the final, you should get at least a little something. And I mean, even if it's a tiny amount, you have $1 million prize pool, at least give the last place team like 5,000 extra bucks or something. I mean, come on. You're gonna give the top place team $900,000 to split, so they each get $450,000 each. When you could beat the second place team by like something as small as a minute. So that second place team gets $100,000 to split, $50,000 each. The third place team gets nothing. And of course that fourth place team gets eliminated the first day. They get nothing. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that just adds an edge to the competition? Like it makes it that much more worth it to give it your all to become the champs? Or do you think that's a little extreme? Me personally, with $1 million, I just feel like you could divide it up a little bit more fair. Leroy wants it so bad, and he's crying in his little pre-challenge interview, his pre-final interview, and it just makes me want him and Nany to win it all. As they get going, they start off right away running 3 miles, and I'm like, yep, I'd be done. Admittedly, endurance is not my strong point, but I think it's important to acknowledge your strong points ahead of time, and we all know that the finals is pretty much mostly endurance. The checkpoints are always important too, because that's where you can catch up on time, but endurance is always one of the most important things. So if you know that that's one of your weaknesses, you need to train for that. I think people forget that you have to compete. So those competitors that see themselves as, you know, long-term veterans, they should be respected, but then they show up and they're not able to do the endurance. That's why people say they don't want you as a partner. Anissa, for example, if she made it to the final and you start right off with that 3-mile run, not being rude, but I feel like Anissa would be in last place, her and her partner. I'm trying to think who else was a poor runner. Big T was a little slow, if I can recall too. So some of these players, some of these competitors that just aren't that fast, this is where their downfall would have been. And so I don't think it's necessarily fair to say people were being outrageous earlier on in the season when they were concerned. They could have been more respectful about it, but we start off with a 3-mile run, and it's not even a flat 3 miles. It's not like you're running 3 miles through a field, 3 miles on concrete or something. You're on these rocky terrains, and I'm just like, yeah, that would be a sprained ankle. Once you get to the first checkpoint, you have to basically do the same thing as they did in the very first mission. Run up to the top of this pile, grab that capsule, memorize the code, go to your little individual box, put the wires in the order of the colors you saw in the capsule, crack the code first, and CT and Amber actually win, even though this was a guy's heat and a girl's heat. So both of them won together, which I thought was very interesting. That automatically says, oh wow, they're both strong. However, Amber actually had the faster time, so she had the chance to pick a new partner if she wanted to. She could stick with CT or pick a new partner in the finals. So because she had the fastest time, she got to choose another partner, and she decided just to stick with CT. So this is where I would be thinking like, okay, red flags. Literally anything is going. Anything can happen now. It's like go time for real. So next checkpoint. So for the next part, you have to run 2 more miles to the next checkpoint. So CT and Amber B are off first, then Fessy and Casey, then Cam and Corey, then Leroy and Nany. Or you get to leave in the order that you arrived to that first checkpoint. So it depends, you know, how fast. And CT said it best. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Listen to him. CT has done this a lot of times. And then you have Fessy and Casey taking off. Fessy's like, come on, Casey. Come on, Casey. Let's go, 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 Casey. Casey said she needed to slow down, and Fessy said she needs to pick it up in his interview clip. He didn't say pick it up to her, but in his interview clip, off screen, he goes, Casey needs to pick. They get to this part where every team has to grab a key, then they basically run back. So they ran, found a key, then run back. Once they get back, they're gonna have to unlock a trunk and there will be something inside. However, on this run back, Casey hurts herself. I wonder why. Is it because she wants to live up to her partner's expectations? Of course she wants to do her personal best. She wants to win. They all want to win. But I'm sure it doesn't help when someone is constantly in your ear telling you need to go faster. So Casey hurts herself and she's not getting up right away. In this clip, just look at Fessy's face. Casey's clearly in agonizing pain. Fessy looks upset, and By the way, I'm not saying he can't be upset. And don't judge right away. You have to be thinking the same thing. If you think you are the strong team and you have a great chance of winning that top prize and your partner gets hurt, don't tell me the first thing in your head wouldn't be, we might lose this. Tell me that's not true. However, the next things right away should be like, okay, what's going on? Like, are you all right? It's okay. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Nothing's done yet. Nothing's done yet. We're going to keep going. He should be supportive for his partner, and instead he just looks pissy. Casey's like, Fessy, it's not good. It's not good. I heard a pop. And to me, that sounds maybe like a ligament tear. ACL maybe. Meniscus tear. Both, something like that. Something probably not good. So she's kind of there for a while. All the other teams get to the next checkpoint, which is actually an eating competition. You have to finish the plates in your trunk. You have to finish the plates in your case. But Fessy and Casey are still back a ways. Casey finally gets the medic to her. She gets it wrapped up. She wants to just keep going right now. So she walks to the next checkpoint. So her and Fessy catch up to everybody. And she's like, okay, let's just start eating. And Fessy's just like, he's just staring. And Casey's like, come on, Fessy, like, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. I just wanna go. I just wanna try. Fessy's like, well, in his head, and I think he said it in the interview clip, he's like, well, I could eat this food, but we're just gonna get medically DQ'd. Or, you know, I'm just not gonna eat it and we're gonna get DQ'd. He's basically like, we're out of this anyway. It's just not gonna happen. And meanwhile, CT is freaking shoving this food down. He finishes so fast. Amber's doing a good job too. I mean, they're all kind of struggling, but Amber and CT finish their food first. So therefore, they get another freaking power. They get to sabotage another team. Give them more food. All the teams are kind of just like, don't do it, don't do it. Please don't do it to me. They're all looking around like, don't do it to me. Don't give it to us. And it leaves off in a cliffhanger. We don't know who they're gonna sabotage. And that's kind of how it ends. So let me know your thoughts on this week's episode. Do you think Fessy was being way too hard on Casey? Who do you think is going to get the sabotage from CT and Amber? And do you think Casey's going to be medically DQ'd, or is Fessy just going to quit? Personally, I'm kind of hoping that they just get DQ'd and Amber B and CT use the sabotage on Corey and Cam so that Leroy and Nany can catch up, because I'm still rooting for them. So that's my thoughts on this week's episode. Let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you in next week's challenge chat where we discuss the finals. But anyway, let me know who you're rooting for. I'm still rooting for Nany and Leroy to win overall. And then after that, I'm really not sure. I'd probably say Cam and Corey, and then Amber, B, and CT last. So let me know who you're rooting for, and I will see you in my next challenge chat where we discuss the finals and the win. Bye.